Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for the Natural Lifestyle Show. I'm Billy.
I'm Angel, and today we're talking about how nature changes your brain.
Changes your brain.
It changes your
Hey,
brain.
I don't know about y'all, what nature calls it ain't my brain talking
Yeah.
to you.
But your brain, your body, it's.
Mhm.
Well, nature changes you for the better. Um,
It does.
I mean, it's really, really amazing. I mean, people just automatically know it. The being outside makes you feel good. And, strangely enough, it's easy to get preoccupied with a lot of other things indoors.
Hmm.
And, you could get like stressed out or not feeling good or whatever, and
You can get depressed.
yeah, and not even really realize or really that if you just go outside that it would help so much.
I know it.
And actually there's a name for that, for this modern day era we live in. It's called nature deprivation.
Ooh,
And
that sounds serious.
yes, it's lack of time in natural world due to time in front of like the computer, the TV, and stuff like that, and also maybe extended work hours. But yeah, it really has a bad effect on your health. Like Billy said, it could cause depression and all kinds of anxiety problems. And there's been a lot of studies lately that really, really prove the fact that nature is really good for you. And I'm going to tell you a few of them right now. Okay, so there were some volunteers who briefly walked through a lush green portion of campus, and they found that these people were more attentive and happier than those who strolled the same amount of time in traffic. Another study tracked the area of the brain associated with brooding. Now, brooding is being preoccupied with like depressed, morbid thoughts and stuff like that. It's like basically when you brood over something, it's like maybe something somebody did to you or beating yourself up about something.
Yeah, but who signs up for that?
Well, I mean, people fall into it, and
Yeah.
they've found that that people fall into it even more when they're living in an environment where they don't have access to nature. Nature really, really helps people be calmer and not to brood. They found, because they found that brooding was associated with a certain part of the brain, and so they would look at that part of the brain with people that were in the city and stuff like that, and then they would expose them to nature and look at that part of the brain again, and there's less blood flow to the part of the brain
Wow.
where people brood. So I mean, it's like not even just emotionally, but physically, you don't brood as much.
Man, and who would want to be out in nature? I'm gonna listen to the birds and look at the flowers grow and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of makes me think about too about how, I don't know if a lot of people think about this, but I've always heard like if you're upset, go for a walk.
Yeah,
Make you feel better. It really does make you feel
it
better
really does.
to go for a walk. Who'd have thought it?
I mean, everybody just get up and go for a walk.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, because if you like being on the computer, you like watching a lot of TV, or you're like a workaholic or something, you kind of feel compelled to keep on doing that. But sometimes you have to kind of make yourself go outside and make yourself do these things, and then once you're out there, you're glad you did. You're really
Yeah,
glad you did.
the thing of it is, if you go outside, you just do some things out in the yard, you feel so much better.
That kind of reminds me of something else I read. This researcher, he calls it like a 3-day reset. He's like, for I guess like going camping and hiking, because he says after 3 days your brain kind of resets and renews itself. He said that people like scored on tasks, creativity tasks, 50% better when they're out in
I
nature.
believe it.
So it's like, I mean, it's like you just get in tune, I guess, and just your stress just melts away. And so, I mean, when I read that, I started thinking we need to start going camping. We went camping a long time ago. We hadn't been in a long time. But that's a good argument to go camping. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you necessarily ain't got to go camping. You can go on nature trails. You can do all kinds.
Which is
of
something
things.
that we love to do.
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, even if you live in the city or anything, there's always parks and nature trails. And they're usually very beautiful. And there's been some speculation by some people, because like I said, there's been a lot of research on this, that maybe it was like the increased activity, like exercising might be what's improving people's moods and health.
I can believe that too.
But they said that's not the case.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I mean a
mean,
lot of people, when they
exercise
exercise is good, but you got to remember this here, when you're out in nature, I mean, you're out here in God's creation.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think there's
nothing.
something that clicks. I think that he's hit the nail on the head. I think that God created us to be in nature, and that we are happier there. And so that's
I'm not saying go swinging from trees.
You could though. You could.
You could.
But
Just
I mean,
be careful.
exercise does have a lot of benefits, but they've just shown that as these benefits were the same even if somebody was just in nature or just, sitting in nature looking at it. I mean, it's just being in nature that causes all these great benefits.
Well, and I mean, just being out here is just so peaceful.
Yeah, I love being outside. And we're very blessed to live in a place with a lot of trees and
Flowers
Yeah.
and butterflies.
and birds and squirrels, and I mean, and we have like the sliding glass door in the back, and a lot of times I can just look out there and feel like I'm just in the middle of a bunch of trees even if I'm
There you go.
inside, and it's a really good feeling.
Your cabin away.
Yeah. So exposure to nature reduces blood pressure, heart rate, muscle tension, and production of stress hormones, and it may even reduce mortality. Being in nature helps with pain. They did a study with people who had gallbladder surgery. They had their gallbladders taken out. And the ones who went out in nature during their recovery, they had fewer side effects, less pain, and spent less time in the hospital.
I can believe that.
And they said that other studies have shown similar results with nature and plants being brought into the hospital rooms. So, we, with Eliana, having special needs and stuff, we've spent a fair amount of time in hospitals, and we haven't seen any that have plants in them. So that would be a really good thing for hospitals to really actively implement. And maybe even if somebody wanted to start a non-profit organization to put plants in hospitals, that would be nice.
Well, and some of them,
And
like
gardens.
one we go to right now, they got a special section out that you can go out there and set. and
That's true.
It's got beautiful flowers and things.
Well, and
that's
the other
nice.
hospital has the garden.
Yeah, but
that's
that's like
far away.
2-3 blocks away.
Yeah, when you go outside at that one, mostly you just see people smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
So that's not too cool.
No.
They might have a section with flowers and stuff, but they need more. It's nothing that I can really remember, so
They need to make it known.
yeah, for real. And let's see, there was something else cool. Oh yeah, I really want to tell y'all about this one. University of Illinois did a study with Chicago residents, and these were public housing residents. And I guess they put trees and green space all around, because a lot of times I guess it's just bare bones or whatever, but they made it, really nice and naturistic. And the people reported having stronger feelings of unity, and they helped support each other. And they had reduced crime and reduced violence, even though they were living in poverty.
All right, that right there solves it. Everybody go outside.
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody go for walks.
well, everybody plant flowers. Everybody plant trees, because just being outside didn't really help, but having the,
Activity.
well, I mean, yeah, the lush experience of actually having plants and things. But yeah, I mean, that's really cool. That's really cool that it can increase your quality of life no matter what your circumstances.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's cool. One more thing. This was a study where they did an MRI of people's brains, and they showed them pictures. When they showed them pictures of nature, the parts of their brain associated with empathy and love lit up.
That
But
says a whole lot.
Yeah, and
that
they-
speaks volumes, folks.
yeah, and they showed pictures of like city life and stuff like that, and parts of their brain associated with like stress and anxiety lit up. So empathy and love, nature. Remember that.
So if you have some kids who you feel like is unruly, take them outside.
If you feel like you're unruly,
Go outside.
go outside. There's another one. I didn't write this one down, but I read it. And they did like this thing with these prisoners, because you know how in prison the men go in these rooms and work out. And they say usually I think they like get in fights and they talk real loud and stuff like that when they're working out. But this one prison, they painted the rooms blue and showed nature on TV.
Wow.
And when they worked out in those rooms, the men actually didn't want to talk. They would tell people, be quiet and watch my video. And they would, be more peaceful when they worked out.
Yeah, all this is saying a lot, folks. It really is. Seriously, we get out pretty good bit, but people as a whole really don't. And that's just letting you know, if you're going the same direction and nothing changes, maybe you ought to Take that right.
Yeah, just make yourself
into
go outside.
nature.
Because I was thinking about it, and I think that people probably make healthier decisions and better decisions, because if it changes your frame of mind, then you probably want to do better and, you know, have a better outlook. And being in nature, you probably want to do things that are more associated with nature because you're drawn to it. So I don't think you can just lose just going out in nature.
So if the left at Albuquerque isn't working for you, take the right into nature.
That's right. So I hope you found this kind of as fascinating as we did. I mean,
yeah,
this is
definitely.
something that everybody already knew, but just to know all these scientific facts.
And come to find out that, you know, and that's something else. Science and studies and all that. They're out there and they're doing all this here, spending thousands of dollars on things we already know.
That's true. That one researcher who had the 3-day rule.
And you're getting it for free.
Yeah. He said that at the end of the day, he thought that we'll never be able to understand exactly what about nature. Like Billy said, it's always be a mystery. At the end of the day, people usually just get drawn to it because they like it, you know?
That's right.
But in today's society where people can easily get addicted to screens, I think you might have to make yourself do it. But once you make yourself do it, you'll
You'll be
want to
glad
do
you
it.
did.
Yeah. So I think it's really a good thing. Make yourself do it, make your kids do it, go outside and reap the benefits
There you go.
and be more peaceful and loving. And I will be making another video soon.
Real
Please
soon.
give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here for more great videos all the time.
And join us on Facebook.
Yeah, we have all of our social media down below. And newly, we're on Instagram. So please check us out there
Check
too.
us out on there.
Yep, Natural Lifestyle Show on Instagram. And we have links to all our social media below. Sign up for our newsletter. If you're not, you probably already are, but if you're not, sign up and visit our website. And there's so many ways to stay in contact with us. And we'll be making another video very soon. And we're so glad that you joined us.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.